That was quick.
That's what she said. Movie you're making me watch today. Are we ready or no? Schwartz, you want to finish chewing? You look like a cherub.
Chewing like the band cherub.
Cherub. Like a Greek cherub. Is that a thing? Or is like a cherub like a insect?
Now that I think about it, I don't know what a cherub is. So, I don't know. I only know that there's the band that
I'm sorry. What were you
doses
saying,
of
Schwartz? You got crumbs coming out your mouth.
When Cartman sees himself as like the little baby with the wings, like, tee.
Yeah, that's a cherub.
That's a cherub.
That's what you look like.
Tee.
All right. Enough goofs. We're serious. Get out of here. And welcome back to the Movies Making Me That You're Watching podcast.
That's right.
And the movie you're making me watch today is 2018's
Smooth.
What? 2018?
Smooth intro, yes.
The Favorite. Spelled English style, directed by Yorgos Lanthimos. What's your whose choice was The Favorite?
What's
Mine.
And why? What's your word?
I'm gonna go rare. This is a rare movie in a lot of ways.
Mm-hmm. Jake?
Mm-hmm. I had a hard time pinning down one word, but I'm gonna go with grand.
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 Like
Very grand.
like $100,000, the candy bar.
Sure. I think grand can be perceived in different ways.
You thinking more of the canyon?
What applies to this movie? I'm thinking more of the.
What about the Rio?
Idea of large, or grandiose, and like the presentation of the movie, the ideas within the movie were very large.
Very large?
At times. Yeah.
Well, I was gonna say wide. So
wide.
maybe wide and grand go hand in hand. Schwartz
I think so.
is dumb.
Oh,
Mine's
yeah.
dumb? Why is it dumb?
usually.
I don't know. Explain yourself.
Explain myself. Why did I choose rare? Because this is a rare movie. First of all, you got 3 female leads. That's rare. They're all pretty strong characters. The storyline is a rare storyline to be told about a queen that's having
she got gout.
extramarital affairs with her.
Shout out to the big cat. Sorry.
That was gout, no? When they were rubbing that shit on her.
Yeah. So I think it was multiple ailments, but gout was one of them. Gout was one of them.
I
don't think he had the whole
gout,
leg shit. It's a foot thing.
I think gout in the 18th century is different than gout in 2022.
Was he rubbing herbs on it?
You just take tough actin to Nagdin.
Drew Liner is still the only person I know that had gout.
He probably doesn't. He probably doesn't. He probably just has a foot ache and he calls it gout.
He did. Cause I think he was like diagnosed, and this was a while ago.
Diagnosed.
I don't know if this is like an ongoing reoccurring thing.
Drew Liner goes to the doctor, and the doctor looks at him and says, "Good luck."
Yeah, you take a look. Take a good look at that guy, and you can just assume he's got gout.
He's like, "Doc, what do you how long you think I got?" He goes, "I don't know, between 5 and 20, maybe."
5 and 20. He's like, years, and he goes 19, 18, 17.
When I get to 5, you did.
You better run. I don't want to have to pick your body. I can't pick you up and take you out of here, big cat.
The unfortunate thing about gout is you can't run. So
can you die from gout?
Back then, probably.
Yeah, you could die from anything.
I think it's somewhat of an infection sort of deal.
Someone could annoy you to death in 18th century.
Another rarity about it is that I don't think like noble people like this were portrayed in this type of darkly comedic way in many other movies, maybe ever besides this movie. I guess there probably are some, but none that I've seen. And
there's parodies out there. Like, I mean, it almost reminded me of like Monty Python would do stuff like this, but not exactly in this sort of
I would say
setting.
This is more satirical than parody, right?
I think would that make sense? Strangelove. You compare it to like I think Strangelove a little bit. You know what I mean? In the way that it just like takes very serious things and makes them darkly funny.
I think
what's
what's interesting about it is they just talk like we talk today. They don't talk like in 18th century. They weren't like how the like whatever we would expect. Like they were just talking like normal people, like modern people.
Yeah.
Still very dry. Like it felt dry, like as if that's how they would talk back then. Like tonally, I mean,
pussy
the word,
dry.
right? The words they use are similar to what we'd use modern day, but like the tone still felt old and dated.
Yeah.
I mean,
also never seen a movie shot on with like 6mm lenses. I think there was shots where they literally used a 6mm lens.
Yeah, I saw
I mean, besides for like
wild.
Lubeski's movies, this is pretty much the only movie I've ever seen shot this way, especially in this time period. Like usually in a time period like this, it's like you think of like Kubrick movies of like long zooms and wide pans and shit. This was just literally
Barry Lyndon.
Yeah, like I feel like the cinematography alone set this movie apart from anything that's been made in this time period.
Definitely.
And it's a little abrupt at first. You're like, oh shit. You're like, all right. Like when it first starts, you're like, fuck. Like this is something
the first
I've never seen before.
The first whole room, super wide. I mean, borderline fisheye, if not just epic, if not just blatantly fisheye. But
there were definitely
the whole
a couple
pan
shots that were fisheye.
Yeah. But it's like it's probably a 2-inch movement, and you see the whole room following a character across the room. Those were pretty wild. That was my favorite part of this movie.
And he definitely fucked with it a little bit in Killing the Sacred Deer, like that whole thing, but he really brought it out in that.
Yeah, I don't think his other movies, the cinematography didn't stand out as much as this one to me.
I don't know. The Killing the Sacred Deer cinematography was pretty crazy. It was almost like another character in that movie, honestly.
I could see that. Yeah, they definitely have a certain look. This just had that, I guess, just that big feel, that whole very simple moves.
Like you said, it's supposed to be
everything
grand.
was wide. It was very grandiose.
Yeah.
It was channeling Barry Lyndon in, I think, that way.
Sure. Except like Barry Lyndon was very grand, but it was also like slow. This movie wasn't slow. Like the pacing in this movie was pretty.
It was long.
I thought the pacing was off at time, like strange to me, because it felt very long. It was pretty standard, like basically right on the money, 2 hours. And because there was times where it felt like frantic, and then other times where they just lingered in conversations and would linger in shots and things like that. So like it was.
Yeah.
I don't want to say it was frantic because overall it felt slow, but it's very.
I think it depends on which character you're with, because like Emma Stone's character was really trying hard to become something. The Queen was probably the most frantic character in the movie because she was just insane.
She was borderline polar. What do they call
bipolar?
That?
Rachel Weisz.
Bipolar.
This is definitely Rachel Weisz's best performance. She was amazing in this.
She was great.
She was fucking awesome in this.
She was pretty rad.
Yeah,
I think
her character.
I think Evie in The Mummy is probably her best character.
I mean, her character was definitely the most juiciest in this movie because of how what she was, and the way that she carried herself. But she was fucking awesome, and that's what I mean.
A good
like
character.
These characters were definitely not definitely, but are usually men in this type of movie, and stuff like that. And they were women in this.
The men were hilarious in this movie.
Yeah. It was almost gender bending or gender swapping a little bit in the how they looked.
Yeah.
Even like all the women looked very kind of
normal,
plain.
Yeah, and the men were all done up in the waves.
Exactly. So
Nicholas Hoult was great too. Nicholas Hoult was really good in this.
Which one was he?
He's the main dude, the
guy, the landowner guy.
Oh yeah,
big Robert Harley, leader of the opposition.
Yeah, he was great.
Yeah, he was funny.
Leader of the opposition.
I loved how mean he was to Emma Stone's character all the time too. He would walk up to her, smash things out of her fucking hand, or push her in fucking ditches.
Push her in the ditch.
That was pretty amazing.
This was such a weird take on how people treated each other back then. If that was actually how it was, like everyone was just using each other.
Well,
straight up, there was very little actual.
What people do today too.
I think when it comes to like high up, like in the government, like you ever watch Veep? Veep is the same way. Like they act like this in Veep, and I think it's just you have to portray things like this in this darkly comedic way. Otherwise, you're just like, what the fuck? Like, do people really treat people like this? And I think they do. I think people in that high of power actually do act like that to people around them, and the only way to make it kind of feasible for people to watch it and not be like
is murder them,
make it a little bit comedic. You know what I mean? because Veep is the same thing. Like you're these people are talking to each other like this. You're just like, what the fuck? Like people talk to each other like this, and like no one punched each other in the face. Like it's pretty crazy. Sometimes they say things and you're just like, huh.
I see the comparisons. Like not everyone's really likable. It's like a political movie. It was a political show in a way, but it was still a comedy. This was a political movie in a way, but still.
Is
kind
anyone
of
in this movie likable? Who do you like? Any of the characters in the movie? Like,
I think when it comes
Weisz
down to it,
like
Rachel
the
Weisz,
good person.
She just it's interesting because at first it seems like she's the cold one, she's the cold-hearted one, but the character,
she's the smartest one.
She's the smartest one. She's the honest one. There was that line about like
she's like the
I'm not lying to you because I love you, or something along those lines.
No,
honestly,
she won't lie to you.
Yeah.
Love has its limits,
and you come to find in the end that she really was in love with her, and she was doing.
That's the thing that's why she Emma Stone ruined everyone's life. They were everything was going on the way it was. The queen was suffering. What's her name was using the queen because she was the Dick Cheney of fucking the 18th century. She was just ruling the world. She was calling the shots, and the queen was just kind of bedridden, ill the whole time. So, but they had a good thing going, and I think they loved each other, and they were happy to be around each other. And when Emma Stone came, she just fucking ruined everything. Everything's still the same, but now there's no love in anybody's world. And even Emma Stone doesn't. I mean, I think at the end, she's not happy. She's got to go down on the queen.
Yeah.
And the interesting part about her is this is almost like the opposite with Rachel Weisz. Like she came off as the the sweet person. Like she was the one you felt bad for. Like you kind of pitied Emma Stone at first because her character had that like terrible backstory. But once you realized that she was just conniving like all the people that harmed her in the past. So
well, I think
they were the opposites of each other.
They were,
From the beginning, though, you knew that she was trying to get ahead. Emma Stone, like I think, and Rachel Weisz's character, like kind of being her mentor. Like I think my favorite scenes in the movie were the scenes where they were just shooting guns together, talking about shit. And Rachel Weisz literally just tells her the blueprint of what she's got to do, and she just fucking does it and takes her out of the equation. You know what I mean? She like shows her how to be, because Rachel Weisz is doing the same shit, except she's doing it like you're saying for a good cause. Like Rachel Weisz legitimately cares about England and is using her power with the Queen to make England a better place, whereas Emma Stone's just trying to be a fucking rich bitch.
She's trying to have it better off than she did, and she fucking and then she got greedy.
Yeah, for sure.
And that's all there is to it. There's not much more to this movie.
Emma Stone got nude in this movie, which was pretty great. I was pretty honest for that.
Nice.
That was cool.
Yeah,
Twice.
Great. No, but the one time you actually get to see full titty.
Oh yeah. Do we see one or two?
Just one.
And is it exactly 54 minutes and 1 second in or no?
The reason I meant that is because on the IMDb trivia, that is actually in the trivia. First movie Emma Stone gets nude in. I was like, wow, that's pretty funny that they actually have that in the trivia. So I figured I'll say it in the podcast because it's notable.
Still the only movie that I can think of.
Yeah, she was naked and super bad. She just had something over her.
This was just one tit. She's just gonna give one at a time. She's taking her time with it.
All right. Should we talk about it?
I guess.
All right.
What did we just do?
we paraphrased, but are we gonna go through the plot?
Yeah.
All right. So the movie starts out with the Queen, played by Olivia Colman. She's the Queen of England, and she's a mess, man. Physically, mentally, spiritually, she's just a fucking wreck. Rachel Weisz is like her first in command. I guess her Dick Cheney, as Anthony so eloquently put it. And they're ruling England. They're living lavish. They're doing things they want to do. They're deep in love, and things are good. The status quo is good. And then we meet Emma Stone's character, who comes in a carriage towards the castle, and she's just not having anything, and some dude starts jerking off in the fucking carriage, and he jumps out into the dirt, and it looks
is this when we see her titty?
No,
it's later.
I think the dirt she landed is a little bit of poo in there because the flies are just like following her around.
They're horse-drawn carriages. There's shit everywhere.
I think chapter 1 was the mud stinks, and
yeah. This movie's told in chapters because this movie is based on a novel. Just FYI.
Oh, okay. I know
What
that.
a novel idea.
And I guess it's partly true story as well in a strange way.
I think these characters were real. But I just don't know if what happened is real. You know,
Well, I
what
guess
mean?
based off of like some letters they found, there was some sort of weird like
Yeah,
love
I
triangle
bet
between these women. But
there was
obviously,
a queen that used to fuck
yeah.
one of her servants, and then
well, even the men were actual people. Like they were actual people at that time that interact with each other. Like these were.
I
The
don't
queen
think
was a real person.
I don't think anything of note historical actually like happened in this movie, other than they were
The
actual
war that
people.
was going on. Yeah,
Yeah,
I guess
war.
the war that was going on. But how many wars happened then back then? There was a war every day back then.
True. Yeah. I mean, it's just it's its own contained story, but it
Used to
was
fight all the time.
loosely based off of true events. You know.
LBOTE.
Yeah. You know,
Got
how
'em.
it can be
Hey.
crude.
Who cares? I'm kidding.
All right, so-
I'm kidding. They were real people. I'm kidding. You're a real
So-
person too.
Sometimes.
Sometimes.
boy.
So
Yeah,
Emma
right,
Stone
right.
shows up. She tells everybody she's the distant cousin of Rachel Weisz, and her dad lost her in a card game, so she went AWOL and tried to get a better life for herself and decided to show up to the castle.
Castle.
Rachel Weisz's character is a little bit iffy about her, so she gives her a job.
She's like,
being
where'd you get a coconut?
She's like, why don't you go Cinderella it up for a while and clean the floors? And the people at the other workers kind of don't like Emma Stone because she's like the new kind of hot, not hotter than everybody else, and they fucking make her clean the floor, and she gets lye on her skin and goes out to the fields and collects herbs to soothe it. And just happens to be that the queen is gout, and Emma Stone realizes this, and she realizes, hey, I can use these herbs to help the queen and maybe gain some favor. So she does that, sneaks into the queen's chamber and fixes her gout a little bit. This is where you find out or see that she's trying to move up the ladder. This is where the first time you're like, oh, this bitch got plans. She's conniving, kind of like Anthony a little bit. Then Rachel Weisz is like, yo, bitch, I'm the queen's bitch. You ain't the bitch. You gonna get whipped. And she's like, I was just trying to help the gout. And then she's getting whipped. And the queen's like, man, my legs feel good. What happened? And Rachel Weisz is like, oh, shit. This bitch fixed those legs. And then I'm pretty sure the reason why she stops her from getting whipped, at least in my opinion, is she thinks that Emma Stone could be a help to making her control the queen more. Like maybe she could help her out in some ways. And that's why I think she decides to do that. Maybe
It wasn't
she's
just
like,
an order from the queen. I think it was just
No,
an order from the queen.
Yeah,
She
the
just
queen
no,
said,
the-
"Go get her."
go get her.
No, did she?
I think so.
Well,
I don't
she
think
said that
so.
she said whatever the girl put on my legs is working. That's what she said.
Yeah, and then Rachel Weisz took it upon herself to stop her getting
Okay.
whipped. And I think my opinion is because they don't really tell you, but my opinion is that because she ends up being her mentor, is that she's like, well, maybe this girl can be of help to me and helping me control Queen. Because I do think,
But I
Rachel
think she
Weisz is-
loves the queen more, and
I-
I think
I
she
do.
genuinely loves the queen. She's in charge, but I think she genuinely loves her.
I do think she loves
know.
her, but I think when it would come to the queen or country, she would choose country over queen every day. The way that should be.
She
you know what I mean?
didn't though. At the in the end,
Yeah,
we
that's
see
true.
that she didn't. She was going to. She was
She
going
burned the
to.
letters.
She was going to tell the world that because that the queen was being taken advantage of by Abigail, and she said, "I'm going to send these letters to the fucking Fresno Bee, and they're going to tell everybody that you a big fat lesbian, and that's not good for you." And then she burnt the letters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was basically her definitely choosing queen over because that was the love. That
He
was
loved her.
we find out who loves who in the end.
Loved her.
I think that
Joni
was
loves Chachi.
those two love each other. At least I don't. I,
sucked, dude.
I,
No, it
I
didn't.
question the queen's love for Sarah toward the end, but
But
she
I
certainly
question the
isn't
queen's
happy with her
sanity.
choice. I mean,
Oh, the
certainly.
queen was crazy.
Yeah.
I mean,
she's-
you lose 17 children and have 17 bunnies. You're a little crazy.
yeah, that's certainly an important part, which is
Yeah.
fucking
So anyway,
fucking
so-
tough.
rabbits.
so that's
The
another
way
thing. Like,
the way she said that part too is like so sad. Like some were born of blood, some were
Yeah.
born without breath.
that's another thing. Like
Some I had for a short period of time.
People used to
Yeah,
die
she's
all the
like,
time.
every time-
Babies used to die all the
every-
time.
every
Still
time a
fucked
baby
up.
dies, a little piece of me dies with it. She said too, which is pretty sad.
Yeah,
Hey, it
that's
was
17
a hard time.
pieces.
Hard time in
Yeah.
the 18th century, dude. Babies just be dying.
Yeah.
You're
Clearly.
lucky if you're
An-
alive.
Another thing too is that like before we meet these characters, it sets up that like the queen is kind of crazy. They're having like duck races inside the house, and all kinds of like weird shit going on. It's kind of
that's like opulence though, right? I think that's just the guys being bored. They're just like, let's fucking race ducks. And Horatio is the man duck, and he's like beating he's the fastest duck in the city.
Fastest duck in England, dude. Ain't nobody better than Horatio.
The guy's like, do you have to have the duck here? He's like, it's the fastest duck in the city, bro.
You notice
I
when
love that.
later on when that dude gets more power, the duck is no longer in the room. When that dude like becomes more powerful, the duck's gone. Which I love.
Horatio's
I wonder if they
gone.
ate him or what. That's what he says to him. The first scene, he's like, "That duck better not touch me, or I'll eat his liver with some butter."
Oh, you're saying when that guy became
that
powerful?
guy gets more powerful in the end when he becomes like
gone.
that other guy. Since the duck's just not allowed in the room anymore. Pretty funny.
Poor
Horatio.
Wonder if he died.
Oh, Horatio's definitely dead by now. Dude, some of these shots, it's definitely like super fisheye. It's wild.
Yeah.
All right, so
like, who does that? It looks like a GoPro. You could have shot this movie on a GoPro.
I mean, as weird as the shots were, they were fucking epic though.
They were great.
They fit so well. Like, it's like when people mention auteurs, I think sometimes like that word gets used a lot, like a little overbearingly. But this dude's definitely an auteur.
Yeah, you can't even spell auteur.
The only thing a little different with this movie compared to his other stuff, though, he didn't write this one, which I found. I only realized it on. I think yesterday I realized it because his movies are so bizarre, and this kind of fit the pattern of the other stuff I've seen. So maybe it's not as weird as Killing as a Sacred Deer, but it seems like he makes weird ass movies.
It's got a lot of
his
stamp
is there,
uncomfortable vibes to it, which I think is a stamp of.
I mean, as weird as Killing with Sacred Deer is, and it is weird, I think The Lobster is even weirder than that. The Lobster is fucking strange.
Fuck yeah, it is.
Yeah, and I love that movie. That's like one of the funniest ideas for a movie ever. You go to a fucking retreat and then you turn into an animal if you don't fall in love. Like someone probably pitched that was like
the fact that he called it The Lobster and we never see him turn into a lobster is
it's great.
That's what blew my mind at the end. I was like, that's like some Sixth Sense level fuckery right there. I expected to see him turn into a lobster.
The twist was there was no twist.
M Night Shyamalan and fuck you.
All right, so Emma Stone ends up becoming head of the bedchamber, which is basically like makes the queen's bed and gets her out of bed and cleans her tootsies and wipes her booty, does whatever she got to do, and she starts
favors.
She starts trying to get in her good graces. She informs her at some point that she's the one who got the cream for her gout, and the queen's like, "Oh, that was you, thanks." And then that's when Rachel Weisz takes her outside for the first time to the shooting range and starts to school her on the ways of the game, as you should say. A little Cersei action going on here, schooling people in the game, win or die. And that's when you come to realize that Emma Stone into Rachel Weisz, and I think she looks at her as someone like she could look up to. And Rachel Weisz basically tells her like, "Hey, bitch, watch your back, but be smart. You gotta be conniving. You gotta do what you gotta do."
I don't really think that was her message to her, was it?
I mean, I think overall she was like, "Listen, this is like you gotta play the game. Like this is how." She kind of teaches her that. Like maybe not in that first scene like that per se, but every scene adds up to her being like, "This is how it's done."
Yeah, but she's not saying like you gotta. She's just. I think she just saw her as a little more naive than she was. She played up the naiveness a little bit, and she was just telling her not to be so naive in so many ways. But I don't think she was. I don't know the way you're saying it makes it sound like you gotta stab backs and fucking blah blah blah. I don't think that was her message.
Well, no, I think it was more not stab backs, but you gotta watch out for yourself. Like. As much as this is like a free for all, like I'm pretty sure Rachel Weisz's character, because that's another thing about this movie is you don't get backstory on anybody except for like Rachel Weisz and her were sold by their fathers, but you don't know anything besides for that. Like how Rachel Weisz got to this position of power, who knows? She was probably Emma Stone a couple years ago.
She was flicking the little man in the boat, and that's how.
Wasn't her husband
rubbing
some
legs,
sort of member of the court system or something?
Well,
her husband
was war, right?
Fighting the war, yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
He's winning the war, which is also probably. But I think she got into her favor because she was her best friend since like they were
Oh,
kids.
yeah,
they do
that's right,
mention
that's
that,
right,
yeah,
that's
since
what
they
it
were
was.
little. I forgot about that.
He saved her from little Spittle.
That's another thing.
Little Spittle.
That's
Little
another thing
Spittle.
about this movie too, is that
You guys watch this movie?
when you think about it, the
Who's
plot
that?
of this movie is the only plot is these people hanging out, like doing things. Like,
Yeah, there's no.
I guess the war is kind of a plot, but you never see war. You never really see anything outside of this castle, to tell you the truth. Like, it's all pretty much takes place in this one location, besides for like when Rachel Weisz rides off on the horse into the whorehouse.
Yeah, I think it's just a strange movie. It's a weird lesbian love triangle in a Victorian era
LNT.
with a
And the
political
VTA.
backdrop. It's a strange idea, but it's interesting. It was an interesting movie.
Strange, and it keeps your attention, and it's long.
Yeah,
It's not that long
And
though. It's only an hour and
solid
58
2.
minutes.
solid too.
It's not that long.
Maybe hour 58. It's
2 hours. 2 hours, guys.
it's
I
average.
watched the credits.
Just in case
Did
you guys
end scene with Horatio?
Yeah. Did you enjoy it?
Yeah, I love this movie.
Yeah, I enjoyed it.
Okay.
Thought it was all right.
It was one of those.
I liked
I think I'm
watching it, and
I'm
I love
similar
Emma
with you.
Stone.
Yeah, I feel like there's elements I liked of it over. I couldn't really feel that much enjoyment out of it because I'm just like, I know this is a good movie. I can tell it's well made. It's just I don't know if it's for me. I think the Victorian era stuff always kind of bores me anyway, regardless of what it is. So that could have been it. Could have been.
I would agree with you in that
the
statement in every
setting
way.
that kind of got me.
But this changed my mind on that, honestly, because of
Yeah.
how interesting the characters were and how much I didn't expect the characters to be what they were.
And I guess the political stuff too, because because it's an England Victorian political setting, like the roles and what those people represented and who they were wasn't always like clear. And to me, and like why certain people mattered and what they actually did, I didn't really always understand all that stuff. But
Yeah, but did you?
I guess it didn't
need
really
to?
matter. It
Yeah,
didn't
did you
really
need
matter
to,
that
though?
much. Not necessarily.
Yeah. All right. So Lady Sarah, who is Rachel Weisz, she takes Emma Stone pretty much under her wing and is like, "Hey, you're gonna be the chambermaid now. Let's go from here." Then what the fuck happens?
A lot of shit happened.
Oh yeah, and then after she tells her this, she becomes like a mainstay, and she finds out that Rachel Weisz and the Queen are having a sexual relationship, and she's like, "Listen, I know your secret." Oh no, and then the fucking Robert Harley says, "Yo, you're gonna be my spy. I need you to spy on the Queen and Rachel Weisz for me, because Rachel Weisz and this dude are like enemies. This dude wants exactly the opposite of what Rachel Weisz wants for England. So he's like, you're gonna be my spy, and you're gonna help me out." And so Rachel Weisz.
Do you
finds
think
out-
Rachel Weisz wants her husband to be dead? Wants to kill her husband, and that's why she's like extending the war? Or do you think genuinely she thinks that she's doing the right thing?
I think she's doing the right thing, but But also, I don't think she wants to be with her husband. She's in love with the Queen.
Is she in love with the Queen, or does she just please her? She loves the Queen.
If anything, it seems like she's the one who has the most love for the Queen.
She definitely loves the Queen. Is she in like? Does she want to leave her husband for the Queen? I don't know. Maybe that thought did cross my mind.
Yeah.
Does she want
It
to?
seems like a lot of them they're just married for the like political sake, like
Status.
for status sake. Yeah, that seems to be the
To
only reason any of them
become
actually get
a
married.
lady.
Yeah, to become
lady.
like she doesn't love that guy. She's like, oh, I care for him, but like, wasn't that there's sort of like a little side agreement with them anyway?
I mean,
that they were
what
gonna,
is
like-
love?
Yeah, I know. She was like that. I mean, just the fucked up little parts of this movie too. Like she says that to that guy later. It's like, are you here to rape me or charm me, or something like that. I don't remember.
Yeah.
what
Well,
but yeah, is that what it says?
even in the first scene when she's getting whipped, the guy starts taking the back of her shirt down, and the main old lady's like, "If you're gonna rape her, do it somewhere else, not in my kitchen." And I was just like, "Fuck, dude."
Yeah. Gee, this was a rapey movie for a comedy. That's for damn
Well,
sure.
I think that was also playing on how men just literally control everything
course,
women
yeah.
do at all times. That was just a
Yeah, they were all like victims of like abuse in their own ways. They were all fucked up in their own ways, and I think that
Yeah.
was just like another just backdrop to all those characters.
Yeah, for sure.
There was
And,
no
like,
humanity.
Right. Really, there wasn't much in this movie. You're right. That's a interesting way. Yeah, there wasn't much humanity to any of these characters.
Yeah. So, Abigail That I think my favorite scene too. Well, like I said before, my favorite scenes are the gun scenes. But when Rachel Weisz's character like shoots her and she thinks she got shot, and then she's like, "Yeah, if you don't load this, blah blah blah, this happens," and you're like, "Fuck!" Like that was pretty crazy because right there, like she means business. She ain't fucking around.
Yeah.
That's like the cemented scene where you're like, "Oh, okay."
She was like, sometimes I freaking forget if I put one in there, and I might shoot you anyway.
Yeah. So basically, long story short, Abigail ends up realizing that if she becomes close to the queen, she could hopefully take over Rachel Weisz's position and be the queen's bad bitch.
Favorite.
And she just
favorite.
The favorite, yeah. So Abigail decides to seduce the queen, and she basically does, like, little by little. She acts like she's her friend. She helps her with her gout and makes her laugh. And I guess
Abigail does everything that Sarah doesn't. In that, Sarah loves the queen, so she's not going to let her have cake because she knows that it's going to make her puke. Puke. She's not going to. She knows like how to. She knows the ways of whatever the political ways that she needs to be doing. She tells her when she's ugly. She tells her when she looks like a badger. Whereas, and that hurts the queen, but she loves her, and that's why she does it. And that's the speech at the end says all of that. And Abigail's just doing the opposite of that, which is just, and that's not good. That's not real true love, and that's why everyone's sad in the end.
Yeah,
she's telling her she's pretty. She's giving her cake. She's giving her wine. She's giving her all the things that she shouldn't be having, but make her feel good. She's making her feel good, short term good.
And slowly you realize,
moment on the lips, lifetime on the hips. You know what I'm saying?
Ooh, that's a good one. And slowly you realize, and I guess not slowly, but you do realize that Abigail is not there for the same reasons that Rachel Weisz is. She's just looking for a higher stature. And the queen doesn't. You think the queen knows, or you think she doesn't care? Because I think it's a little bit of both.
I think the queen is ignorant to it. She doesn't care. She wants to feel good. She just wants to feel good right now, and she's sick of Rachel Weisz's character telling her the truth because it doesn't make her feel good.
Yeah.
Also, I think, like I said, I think she's losing it. I think she's going a little crazy the whole time too. She's bipolar. She freaks out every time something good happens. Like whenever music is playing, it's nice. She freaks out, and people are dancing, having a good weird ass dance party, and she like stops that whole thing.
That was one of the best scenes in the movie when Rachel Weisz and him were just like.
Yeah,
I was laughing so hard.
Like weird ass like modern dance moves, and it's just like wide glorious mansion just pulling back. Yeah,
and the way it was shot was almost like so comedic because like the camera's just pulling out and they're like coming towards the camera.
Slow-mo.
It was almost like a Spike Jones video from the 90s.
It was terrible.
It was pretty awesome. It was pretty awesome.
At times it was like jarring to watch sometimes though.
Talk about the music. It's jarring. Is the music was jarring, and like it was good. I liked like these weird stings that would happen all the time and repetitive, but it just got so repetitive at certain points. Just like, Jesus Christ, I can turn the volume down a little bit.
I didn't feel that with the music.
Watch it again and think annoying music.
All right, so I guess
I did like a lot of the music though, and I love the sound, and I liked how they edited. Like I liked how they were having like the dance scene with the shooting in the background, and there's a couple other one that was the main one. You know what I'm talking about, where the Abigail and the Queen were dancing. She's like, "Let's dance," and she's like, "You mock me." She's like, "Get the fuck up, bitch. We're gonna dance." And they start dancing, and they're having a good time, but you're hearing the gunshots in the background from the next scene, which is the next shooting scene. But you hear throughout the whole thing. You're hearing the gunshots go off.
Yeah,
which I thought was kind of cool. Shit like that. Yeah. They did that a couple times.
Well, even in the very the first 5 or 10 minutes of the movie, the way that it's edited, like the transitions and everything like that is super kind of jarring too. It's like the bunnies and then going to each face and going to you don't see that in movies nowadays. Like that's not really a thing in the last 10 or 15 years. You know what I mean? I feel like that's an older thing with
a lot of overlapping fades and shit.
Exactly. Yeah.
Like how it ends.
That was pretty cool. I like that a lot too.
Yeah, it's unique.
So
who's the DP of this? Stand by.
He's dude's regular DP. He does all the Yorgos movies. Actually, no, it's Robbie Ryan, who actually is his first time working with Yorgos.
Robbie Ryan.
Robbie Rai.
Oh, Robbie Ryan.
Yeah, he does a lot of Noah Baumbach movies and shit.
Oh, Noah Baumbach.
Yeah.
This felt Wes Anderson-y too, and Noah Baumbach does a lot of. I know they work together with Wes Anderson.
Yeah, I guess it was Wes Anderson-y in that like the shots were kind of symmetrical and stuff like
Yeah.
that. But Wes Anderson is also another person who's truly the definition of auteur. Like a Wes Anderson movie from a mile away.
Yeah, definitely.
It's kind of like Tim Burton or something. Tim Burton movie from a mile away.
Yeah.
TB. Yeah,
So the first scene to where the Queen and Abigail really bond is the scene where she's talking about losing her 17 children, and she brings the bunnies out and she tells her she's lost 17 children. Like Jake said, some were blood, some were I held for a minute or two, but every time one of them dies, a piece of me dies with them. And that's the first time we were like, oh, okay, well, that's why this lady is fucking bonkers, because she went through that on top of being sick all the time, on top of having all the fucking burden of running the country and shit. So you kind of get it. And her husband's gone. That they don't really talk about that, but her husband did die like 20 years or not 20, but like a couple years earlier, which is another thing I'm sure is fucking fucks with her.
Okay. I thought he just wasn't around. I thought he was maybe a war or some shit. I put too much thought into it.
They don't tell you
in real life at that time he was like really dead too.
Gotcha.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, they don't never tell you that though.
I'll never tell.
Never tell.
That's the scene where I think you realize that Emma Stone is gonna do anything she can to do this. Like I think it's hinted at, and you do know it, but just the way she smiles at her and like looks at her, she's like, "Oh man, I got this lady wrapped around my finger if I really want to."
Yeah. Once she saw the opportunity, she went for it.
Yeah. And then
basically, I think right before all that, before the very first shooting thing, right before she says, "Let's go shoot some shit," when she like fake coughs to get the Queen's attention, that was pretty. Like you're like, all right, this bitch fucking, and even she looks at her, and I think that's definitely when she was like, all right, I gotta teach this bitch something.
Mm-hmm. For sure, she turns around really slightly and just looks back, and you're like, oh, she noticed. She definitely noticed. And basically, the rest of the movie is just Abigail trying to get rid of fucking what's her name? Lady of the Bedchamber. I know. What the hell's her name? Laura?
Sarah.
She's trying to get rid of Sarah.
Evie. She's a librarian.
She tries to she just tries to get her out of the picture and take her place. And as the war is going on, you got that guy trying to get the war to be paid by people that are paid by other things than the tax dollars, and Rachel Weisz is trying to get them to pay it by tax dollars. And I guess there comes a point to where Rachel Weisz's character sees Emma Stone in bed with the Queen, and she kind of just freaks the fuck out. She's like, oh my God, this chick's trying to replace me. Like, she's definitely trying to replace me. And Emma Stone opens her eyes and she sees her in there. And that's another thing.
See her titty.
That's you do. That's another thing about this movie is, I mean, I don't know if you guys know this, if you read about it, but this movie was mostly lit by natural light and candlelight. They used very minimal actual lights in this movie, which is pretty cool.
That's cool. I didn't know that.
Yeah. There's some
I did know that. Also a very Barry Lyndon callback.
Yeah, for sure. Some of these scenes in the dark with the fire, absolutely breathtaking. Like the scene where Emma Stone is like sneaking out of the library after she sees them like have sex for the first time, and the camera is just like slowly moving in against Emma Stone on the huge library wall, and it's all lit by candle. I was like, Jesus, that was fucking beautiful.
Emma Stone, best character in the movie?
Rachel Weisz.
Think so?
I do.
I thought Emma Stone killed it.
She was great. Everybody brought their.
I don't know why you hate the troops.
Yeah.
Olivia Colman won an Oscar for it. She won Best Actress. The Queen won Best Actress.
I don't know if that was worthy, but
oh, what? She was amazing.
Kidding.
They all
her erratic emotions were like enough for her to win the Oscar that year.
Hell yeah.
I was thinking about that because I think I was surprised when it happened, and then I just rewatched this and I'm like, oh yeah, she's fucking great in this.
Yeah, your cat's freaking out back there.
The thing is that like
cleaning.
She shows every range of emotion in this
Take
movie.
a shower.
She's happy. She's sad. She freaks out. She's fucking. She does
Gowdy.
everything in this movie. Yeah, she's
John Gowdy.
And then also the other two were both nominated for Best Supporting Actress, so they all got a little bit.
And so, what did she win? She won the Best Actress.
She won Best Actress. Yeah, the Queen did.
Okay. It's
hard.
Who was who, and who was best? Who was supporting? Who was?
It's hard to say who was like the
main
main. I think just because it more she was the more pivotal character, which everything was kind of like attached to. I think that somewhat made her
Yeah, she's probably had
more
more
of the
screen
main.
time.
Yeah,
No,
probably the most
screen time. Emma Stone had the most
Was it
screen time
Emma
by
Stone?
like 2 minutes.
Because to me it felt like it was more.
How'd you know that?
You
I
followed
looked it
Emma
up.
Stone a little
You
bit, but,
Googleized it?
I did.
but there's a lot of
He's
examples
smart,
of when
dude.
that shit happens.
He's a smart
Well,
guy.
I
You
think-
remember
not
those
the
things
main
in
thing.
your brain?
I think it's more of a political thing. It's like, well, we want to nominate all these women, but we can't nominate them all for Best Actress because other people got to get nominated, and 3 people in the same movie in the same category. So, I think
And they're
because-
women. If they were men, maybe we'd do it all, but
Yeah.
Man.
Well, there's a couple movies where I
You-
think
you
of
ain't wrong.
with the men like Training Day is a good example because Denzel Washington won Best Actor. Ethan
Yeah.
Hawke was Best Supporting Actor nomination, and clearly that was Ethan Hawke was the main character. Like every scene was through Ethan Hawke's perspective.
what movie we
He was
talking
in every
about?
scene.
Broken Arrow?
Training Day.
Oh.
Where Denzel was like considered the lead actor. Also, there was Last King of Scotland, where Forrest Whitaker
Forrest
wasn't
Whitaker.
even in it that much, and he
Yeah.
won Best Actor. Where James McAvoy, that was
He's
his
the title
movie.
character.
He was the title character. I mean, and that kind of goes with my argument of like she's the queen, so everything was kind of
And
revolved around
Denzel
her.
was doing the training.
Well, he was. It was Ethan Hawke's training day. He was the one getting trained. So
Yeah, you're right. You ain't
semantics of the Oscars, but I think you're right.
Samantha.
It is whatever people decide to go
Samantha.
Yeah, let Samantha decide.
for. Samantha about
Samantha.
the
What are the
Oscars.
what are the antics?
Samantha.
What is the
Or-
semantics?
Or The Godfather, fucking Marlon Brando's, and definitely not in it as
Marlon
much as Al
Brando,
Pacino.
Sofia Coppola,
Al Pacino's definitely in The Godfather more than
Al Pacino, booty
Brando.
sweat to cure all.
So, and it was swapped in that the first year.
Have
so.
some Al Pacino ass water to cure all. Sorry, what were you saying?
Yeah, no. I think it is political though, Jake. It's just how it works. Like I think with Denzel, it was that like he was just overdue for an Oscar, so they just
do.
Come on, you tell me
And I think-
Denzel
Denzel had an
Forrest
Oscar before that.
didn't
He did,
deserve
but-
that for Training Day?
No, he definitely did, but I'm saying putting
He was
him in Best Actor as opposed to Best Supporting Actor.
Yeah,
I didn't know you like to get wet.
And also
he was
Forrest
great.
Whitaker in Last King
King
of
Kong
Scotland,
ain't got shit on
he
me.
was also overdue, and who knows the next time he was going to get that opportunity. You know what I mean? He's
Who?
Forrest Whitaker's
Oh,
kind of
Forrest-
actor who
Forrest
doesn't
Crazy
always,
Eye?
doesn't always.
I just
do-
don't. I mean, I think he could have gotten Best Supporting as well. Like I could have gone either way. I
Did you ever
just
see
don't
Panic
think
Room?
one really matters.
Dude, Panic Room is probably Forrest Whitaker's best role.
Hell yeah. He was looking at both girls at the same time.
Ghost Dog.
Ghost Dog?
Dog is good, but Ghost Star is just boring, like every other.
Ghost
Jim
Dog?
Jarmusch movie.
Ghost Dog.
Way
The Way of the Samurai.
Oh. Is that
But
like,
like-
a
Anthony,
Kung Fu Panda?
Anthony, you will not
situation?
like that movie. I promise, Anthony. You
Prove
will not
it.
Like that movie.
You might. I would like to
No.
make you
It's about
watch
a
it, but
ghost dog,
we already
though?
did a fucking.
Yeah, you
Jim
already
Jarmusch.
wasted your Jim Jarmusch on the
I
worst
know.
movie we ever
I
watched.
You
did.
telling me there's a ghost dog that
I
knows
did.
Kung Fu?
No, his name is
He
Ghost
is
Dog.
the Ghost Dog.
Like Knight Rider?
Yeah.
Yeah, kind of.
Wu Tang did the soundtrack. They're also
Is
in the
he a
movie.
ghost?
It's dope,
Oh.
dude.
Wu-Tang's for the
It's-
children.
It's slow, but it's a cool movie.
It's good.
Slow.
You would
love
enjoy
slow
Anthony.
movies.
You'd fall asleep a couple times.
Jarmusch
slow for a slow movie.
Jarmusch is a slow guy, but it's good movies usually.
Is Jim Jarmusch a retard?
I wouldn't be surprised if he had a little Asperger to him, but
You think
seems like
so?
a
I gotta
weird
hear
guy.
his dialogue.
Yeah,
What movie did we watch?
the
By law.
Down by Law. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
he's
no,
definitely
Yeah.
retarded.
One of the worst
Again,
this podcast.
again, my excuse is just like that was back when we started doing the not screening them, and when all of
Yeah,
us haven't
whatever.
seen the movie.
Everybody's
so
got
if
excuses.
if I would have known, I wouldn't have done that.
Everybody's got excuses. I chose Lake Placid, and I'm
And I
proud
would-
of it.
Now it shows. I know now I'd choose movies I've seen and nowhere
Lake
good.
Placid's a better movie than Down by Law. I'll just put it
Yeah.
out there.
What about Salt and Sea?
Yes.
Better movie than Down by Law?
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Lake Placid, Salt and Sea. Why am I doing all these bodies of water?
It's a good question.
Indiana
What-
Jones.
What's your next pick?
Well, hold on. We didn't
Oh,
get
yeah.
to the fucking movie yet.
I mean, we got the gist of this movie.
I'm giving you a chance to consider the idea of choosing another body of water movie. That's why I'm putting it out there.
Think
So
about
you
it.
think about it.
Think about it,
Schwartz,
and I'll
Let me
finish
think
this
about
up.
wrap this baby
Let me
up.
think about it.
I'll
Let's
finish
talk
this
about we're only about 45 minutes in right now.
No, but see,
We
but
just passed the
we're-
tit
no,
part. That was 54 minutes, and we all know that.
Yeah,
So-
is it really 54 minutes? It's amazing.
based off what
Googling it right now.
based off what Anthony said earlier. I didn't know that.
I just think
and
it's
that
funny-
sounds right though. That sounds about
What's her
when
name?
it happened. Emma Stone.
I just think it's funny that it's on IMDb trivia. That made me laugh so fucking hard.
It was the
I
first
that
one
is-
on
that
my
is
phone
funny.
when I just looked at it. It was the first. I don't know if they go by like what they think I'd be interested in or what.
Time code of Emma Stone's tit. You just open Google and it's already there. You're like, whoa, how did it know? Google knows, dude.
Google knows. Google knows where the titty goes.
So
So
Abigail
Abigail.
decides that she needs to get rid of Sarah, so she drugs her tea in hopes that she will disappear for a few days so the queen can be alone with her and she can gain
Is
fortune.
Mr. Skin still a thing? It is.
One of the best parts of Knocked Up is when they think that they're making the first site like that.
Oh, yeah.
And he's like, Mr. Skin. He's like, the fuck is Mr. Skin? And he's like, and Jonah Hill's like, you were supposed to do the research. And then they're like, all right, let's go see Spider-Man 2. It's playing in 5 minutes.
What was theirs called in Knocked Up? Do you remember? They had a clever
It was a
name.
better name for
I think
sure.
It was a better name than Mr. Skin.
Yeah, what was it?
Emma Stone gets naked 1 hour, 1 minute, 45 seconds. I wasn't far off.
1 hour, 1 minute, 45 seconds. Copy.
Yeah, 61:45.
All right, cool.
What was theirs called? We have to figure that out before we can go on.
I'm gonna Google. You can keep talking while I'm looking it up, though.
Yeah, go
I'm
ahead.
trying to think of
Like,
it,
pause the podcast. We need to find this.
though. Okay, so
You don't actually have to. Don't do that.
no, I really want to know what it's called now.
I'm
pause
looking.
this
I'm
bitch right
looking.
now.
Go for it. it.
So
Continue.
Emma Stone poisons Rachel Weisz's tea, and she, in hopes of getting her out of there for a few days so she can gain favor with the queen. And Rachel Weisz is a very good writer. What is it called? What is it called?
It's not. I'm just reading quotes from it, and I got to the pink eye one. Where I guess didn't he fart on his pillow or something?
Yeah.
They all fart on each other's pillows to get revenge on each other.
He got pink eye. Or are you giving him butterfly kisses or something?
So
Sorry.
so Rachel Weisz goes riding because she's a good rider on a horse, and she starts throwing up. and
Also,
she
dope
realizes-
shot of her
everything
riding
was a
when it
dope
was like
shot.
super wide.
Mhm.
Those a lot of those shots reminded me of drone shots just because of how wide drone shots are. And when I was if you like flying through the woods like that, I mean, it's just wide, infinite focus, steady, beautiful. I thought it was cool.
Yeah,
That was so
the
cool.
movie's very beautiful. So she ends up falling off of her horse, but gets her leg caught in the horse's stirrup, and gets dragged for who knows how fucking long. She wakes up. She's in a whorehouse in a bed while some dude's banging some other girl in the corner, and you realize that her face is just completely fucked. She's got an open fucking wound down her cheek that is the size of a fucking hot dog. She's all
face gash.
She got face gash. And at the same time, you see Emma Stone is still plotting. She asked, I guess we never mentioned this other dude who kind of fancies Emma Stone the whole movie and trying to get with her, but she's not having it. And then decides to use him to her advantage, which is if she marries him, she will be of nobility, and
A
Rachel
lady.
Weisz's character will have a much harder time trying to get rid of her if and when she returns. Because I don't think Emma Stone planned on Rachel Weisz being hurt physically or anything coming from this. I think she just wanted to get her out of there for a few days, and the repercussions were more serious than she probably thought they would be. I mean, she always thinks that she's going to come back. She just doesn't know when, but I don't think she thought that she got injured like that. And
How did she get fucked up? Was it just falling off the horse?
well, she fell off the horse, and the horse dragged her for like ever. Like
Oh.
her foot got caught in the stirrup and just dragged her around while it was fucking.
And so
galloping.
did they just find her?
No,
The whorehouse people?
Yeah, she was being drugged while a whore was getting fucked in the woods, and the whore saw it.
And they took her
And they took
to
her
the
in.
whorehouse. But
Took her
that
to the
wasn't the
whorehouse.
plan. See, for some reason, I thought like Emma Stone sent her to the whorehouse.
No,
That's
she
not what
just-
happened.
No, she just
Oh, damn.
that just happened.
All
I
right.
don't
So
think
that
Emma
makes
Stone-
Emma Stone a little less crazy.
Well, that's what I mean. I don't think she expected her to get injured like that or like get killed or hurt or anything. I think she just wanted her to get her out of the picture. And so anyway, while Rachel Weisz's character is being bandaged or being healing up in the whorehouse, Emma Stone gains more favor with the queen. Emma Stone gains more favor with the queen, and the queen ends up granting her marriage to the dude who's been trying to marry her, who we find out is only marrying her so that Nicholas Holt's character can gain some leverage with the queen, which goes back to everybody's just trying to get in with the queen and solidify their status in this fucking world of the higher ups in fucking the olden days.
In the world of nobility. I think this shit's still going on to this day. I think nothing changed.
No,
Nothing's
definitely
changed.
not. Definitely
Fucking
not.
Germans. Nothing changes.
The Germans.
Fucking Nazis.
What does it have to do with this?
You ever see Big Lebowski?
Yeah,
It was
of
the
course.
fleshofthestars.com.
Flesh of the Stars. That's
Flesh
a
of
better
the
name.
I was having a
Stars.com.
hard time to finding it.
Flesh of the Stars.
Flesh of the
Cool.
Stars. Not
So
bad.
how does it end? She comes back.
So Rachel Weisz comes back. She
Rachel
got
Weisz.
a gnarly ass scar on her face.
Sick
and
scar.
The queen is
She
just
looks like
not
Kylo
having it.
Ren right now.
The queen's not having it. She like I'm pretty sure she like
What
instantly-
color would her lightsaber be if she was in Star Wars?
Who? Which character?
Sarah Marlborough.
I think she'd have the Mace Windu purple.
Think so?
I was thinking more of like a dark blue. Like a
Yeah,
midnight
dark blue, purple. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
I think
cool,
the purple. I think her character is the most Mace Windu-y character in the movie.
Like the same color as the band-aid that was like on her face, that like dark blue.
That was black.
That was black.
That was black. That looked dark blue. Maybe
Okay,
my
well,
TV's
I'm
weird.
colorblind.
I
Yeah, how's
might
your new
be
TV,
colorblind.
dude?
Fix your TV.
Not hooked up yet.
what?
Justin's not in town. He comes back Sunday, and I
You
want
can't
me
put
to-
a
you want me to
TV
come
on the
in?
wall?
You want me to come over?
75-foot
right now.
TV on a mount on the wall.
75-foot
No.
TV?
75-foot
inch
TV.
Look at my house.
We get the best 75-foot.
Call I don't know about the best, but we'll see. Call Ed up and have him come over and help you. Ed'll come over and help you.
Yeah, it'll come over and help you. Might have to get a
It's okay.
ladder for him. Kidding, Ed.
What? Ed's not short.
I don't know. Who's Ed? I'm kidding, Ed.
Average height. Yeah.
Ed McSmalley.
Ed
All right,
McNally.
so let's wrap this
Ed
up.
McNasty.
Wrap
Hey,
this
hey,
up.
yo, Ed. Shout out to Ed. You ever see this movie? Probably not.
Ed would love this movie.
The favorite?
Yeah.
What is Ed's movie preferences? Call us, Ed, at 555-6969.
Nice.
I just reserved that number.
So she comes back. She's all fucked
God,
up. The
there's
queen.
more.
The queen is like not attracted to her physically anymore. She tells her that. She tells her face scares her. And this is the beginning of when Rachel Weisz knows that she's probably lost this entire thing. And I think
Yeah.
she doesn't
She
want to accept it, but she kind of knows. And then she goes to Emma Stone. She sees Emma Stone, which is another great scene when she goes in there with the tea room and tells everybody to leave. And Emma Stone's like, let's just call a truce. You know what I mean? Like I had to do this. I had this, had to get by for my own good. You know, you basically taught me this shit. And she's like, let's have a truce. And Rachel Weisz is like, nah, bitch, we're going to keep going. And then basically Emma Stone fucking wins. The queen, Rachel Weisz gives the queen an ultimatum. She says, I'm going to give these letters that you wrote to me over the last few years. I'm going to show everybody and show that the queen is in a lesbian relationship and ruin you unless you do something with the war, do something with the taxes, and get rid of Emma Stone. She's like, nah. So she's like, all right, fine. Then I'm going to fucking tell everybody. And she's like, get out of here. And then you realize that she is in love with her a lot, and she burns the letters so that no one will ever know. And the dude with the duck basically is like, listen, you guys got to make up for the better of Horatio is like, listen, you guys got to make up because when Rachel Weisz is here with you, the England's running good. Like things are done the way they got to be. The people are happy. The money's running good. You look like a sane person. And she's like, no, only if she apologizes to me by writing me a letter. So she does write the letter. Emma Stone intercepts the letter, reads it.
Isn't the guy with the duck her Rachel Weisz's husband, right?
No,
Or-
Rachel's husband's out at war.
Oh, I thought he was the duck guy.
No,
That was like the queen's like right hand.
We see
Oh.
we see her husband like once right before he goes to battle.
Oh, okay. He's not the tomato getting thrown at guy.
The fat guy.
That guy, that was amazing. That was funny.
Yeah, like the most of the men characters were and what they did is a little lost on me.
They were just rich and
Yeah.
bored as fuck.
Yeah.
Well, I also think
they
that
ain't going to battle. They're just chilling.
I
They were
also
just
think they reversed it a
conniving.
little bit with men and women.
Yeah,
They
definitely,
made-
definitely.
I think they made
Yeah,
the men
absolutely.
seem like the ones who were a little
Makeups
bit
and wigs
like,
and trying to
useless.
look good and
I think
definitely
they made-
useless.
They made them think
Oh,
they were a
certainly.
little useless compared to how they usually portray women as, and you know what I mean? It's like they're just women; they can do whatever. They made the men look like that, which was cool. That was a interesting and
Yeah,
rare
Yorgos
thing.
Lanthimos hates men. It's fine.
I don't think he hates men. I think he just likes making original content, stuff that you don't see all the time.
OC.
Yeah, all his movies are original as fuck. Like you've never seen any movie like his.
I also saw this script was actually written in like 1998, and I guess because of the themes of like the lesbian relationships and the main characters being women, it had trouble actually getting produced until Lagos.
Yeah,
Yeah,
just people
Yorgos
like
got
Anthony in the world
Yeah.
trying to keep women down. Okay, so
Yeah.
where are we now?
it. Anyway,
Good
Oh,
one.
I mean, everybody.
she
knows.
she
Everybody
burns
knows.
she burns the shit. She loves her, but and the dude's all like, yeah, well, no, Rachel, what's her face, gets the letter, or Emma Stone finds the letter.
She cries because she sees how much in love that they really are, and she realizes right there that she probably is the best.
She
fit
fucked up.
for the Queen
Mhm.
and England, but still being a fucking bitch, decides to burn the letter and get her life to be Gucci.
I think it's too late for them all. It's just too late. It's just too late. She's
Think
like,
so.
I'm here. I'm already here, and that's it. Well, by the end shot, when she's like, all right, now fucking eat my pussy again, and she's like, all right, and she fucking like she sucks. Her queen sucks. Fucking
Yeah.
17 dead rabbits suck.
Also, when Rachel Weisz bounces, you see the Queen get worse and worse physically. Like her face is starting to like
She's nasty.
getting all fucked up, and
She's eating
Did they ever
cake
tell
and
you-
drinking
did they ever
wine.
tell
She's
you
super
what
gouty.
exactly is wrong with her? She's just sick, right? They didn't tell you like. What
Yeah, I don't think they fully know.
They
I know
say
they
gout.
said gout at one point, but I think there was a
But
lot
does
more.
gout do that to your face? Like that's got to be like a
No,
neurological
because then they also say
Untreated.
something about her stomach, and I don't think the gout's related to the stomach at all.
I also
it's-
think it's depression caused a lot of it too.
I think
Honestly, I think a
that
lot
as
of it's
well.
mental.
She's
more
just
than
she's very traumatized
yeah,
from all her
yeah.
from her
I
life,
mean,
and
we're
they all were really.
I mean, we're going through like the actual plot, but there's so much other things that happen just in the day of life of these people, like the situations they get in and the dialogue they have just in normal situations, whether it be like a tea party or a dinner or just wheeling her through the house, to where the actual like beef of the movie is like it's all about just these people, these characters like talking to each other and seeing the relationship they have. That's what this movie is. Like the plot is kind of like the B plot, honestly. It really just is how these people like look at each other and like interact. You know what I mean? Because all like the real juicy stuff is just little things they say and camera moves that like are in these scenes that you don't think are important. You know what I mean? Like that's really what this movie is. It's a character study.
Yeah, I mean, I still think the main part was the
I'm
love
surprised I don't have
triangle,
gout.
but I know like the setting was certainly important. The world they lived in. I felt like they were just moving around this giant fucking place, and it was like most of it was all just there at this manor, at this
There were
property.
they shot at 3 locations, 3 different manors, but they made it look
Okay.
like one.
Eating diet rich in red meat and shellfish and drinking beverages sweetened with fruit sugar
Dude, you got
increases. I don't drink. I thought it said eating fruit, but I don't drink like fruit beverages, but I definitely eat a lot of red meat. Let's see. Alcohol consumption, especially beer. I try not to drink so much beer. Also increases the gout. Overweight. I mean, I'm surprised all of us don't have gout, except for you. You don't eat any red meat.
I don't need meat, so I'm good.
Yeah, but you fat.
Come on, none of us are fat.
I mean, I'm fat.
I'm just big bone.
Slightly
No,
overweight.
my mom
you
would
guys
say
see the new-
husky.
you guys see the
Husky
new
is the
South Park?
term.
No.
Yeah. Yes.
Oh,
My
it's so
fucking
good.
my Paramount Plus ain't working.
It's
so
ParamountPlus.com. Help me. Yeah, still.
It's
What?
so good. It's
I got
probably
my
one of the
Adobe
funniest. It's
You got it
definitely
through
one of
the Apple channel, or is it just like its own? to
Apple
get the
Channel, Paramount
Like,
Plus,
or-
like
or
the Paramount.
Prime.
Do it through
Gotcha.
Prime. I have mine through Prime.
Yeah, it's like you know how the Prime has the channels. One of them
Yeah.
was Paramount, and they just did a deal. It's like a day late now, so it doesn't fucking matter. But they had a Prime Day deal where it was like
deal
$1 a
late,
month
dollar
for
late.
2 days. Yeah,
I got it for the offer, and I just kept it to watch South Park.
yeah, same. I just got it because I wanted to watch South Park again.
Honestly,
I did the first trial when it was like one of the earlier COVID specials, and then I think I paid for it to do the second Streaming Wars, and then I just got the other one.
I think that the
for this.
Streaming Wars thing is probably one of the funniest things South Park's done in a long time. Like, it was legit funny from beginning to end.
It was, yeah.
And it just the subtle just jabs at everything streaming made me laugh so hard.
Yeah. Just the whole situation.
Yeah.
Yeah, the whole situation. I need to watch it.
He needs to watch it. Spoiler.
The Karen thing.
Shut the fuck
Funniest
up.
thing ever.
I mean, it was all on the first Streaming
I'm
Wars.
gonna
all
mute
everything
you.
we've
Did
said
you
so
see
I
the
haven't
first
seen
one?
any. No.
Oh, you haven't seen the first Streaming
one.
Wars? How long has fucking Paramount been down for?
Hey, shut up.
Hey, can you call someone?
Get Paramount on the
I
line.
mean, wait, is Ray Ray at your house?
Get Paramount on the line. Paramount.
Your assistant Ray
Maybe
Ray
the
to call
mayor of
Paramount.
Hollywood.
Give me the Mayor of Plus.
They owe
Google
you-
Plus.
they owe you money.
Paramount Plus. Suck my plus. Are we done
All right,
yet?
let's finish it. Let's finish it. So
Jesus.
this is how it finishes. So she burns the letter.
Mhm.
Rachel Weisz leaves. The Queen goes into depression.
Yeah.
Then it
It's working
cuts
on my
to-
computer. I'm gonna watch it. Not
Then
now,
it-
but-
Then it cuts to, like, I don't know, maybe like a week or two later, however long it is, and you see a scene where Emma Stone is just she's basically just living the life of fucking the dude from Game of Thrones, the king in the beginning, just banging bitches and doing what she wants. Like, you actually see her like flirting with other men as her husband's watching, and she's just being a dude. You know what I mean? Like, another play on just reversing the roles. She's being a total just fucking
enjoying her time.
asshole. She is. And
She worked hard
then
for this.
the Queen calls her into the chamber. She's drunk, and that's when she realizes that Rachel Weisz was right. She's in it for all the wrong reasons. Cut to, I don't think it's the same day, but I think it's the next day. Or whatever.
That's going back to what you're saying. She didn't win in this situation. Rachel
No.
Weisz lays that out like
Yeah.
pretty. She was like, you think you won, but we're not playing the same game.
Yeah.
Like you're gonna realize that you didn't fucking you won something you didn't want. Bit off a little more than you could chew.
100%. And that's what makes me like Rachel Weisz's character so much, is that she knows what's up. Like,
The speech of Rachel talking to her through the door, talking to the Queen through the door.
Yeah,
That's the best
yeah,
part of the
really
movie.
good.
that was pretty great. That was pretty fucking awesome.
BPDM.
Yeah. I think that was the most telling scene of like her intentions, I think, right there.
Yeah. I think that scene, the scene where she's telling Emma Stone about her dead kids, and the gun scenes were the best scenes in the movie. Those were just really, really good. I mean, I think the scene where Emma Stone is realizing that she needs to plot harder and she's jerking off that dude is pretty great too. That was a pretty funny
Right.
scene, because she's like, I gotta do this, I gotta do that, I gotta do this, I gotta do that. And she's just like jerking the dude off.
Yeah.
She's just showing that, like, she's gotta do what she wants to do.
Right.
Jerk some dudes off sometimes. That's how Anthony
Hey.
got so far in life.
Yeah. What do you think I got here?
I think he's got 2 guitars and I want a Pulp Fiction poster.
All right. So Emma Stone's living the
Yeah,
life
there's
of
a dude
luxury.
right here that I just jerked off.
And she's
He's asleep right now. Shh,
we see Emma Stone's is just a total bitch now, and the Queen's super sick. And then I think the telling moment is when Emma Stone just fucking sitting there and just almost just like just steps on a rabbit, like abusing the rabbit, and then the Queen notices and she sees what's up.
I
She
forgot
sees,
about that
she
part.
sees who she really
Yeah.
is, and that was why that end shot was so telling too, because she basically was doing the same shit, or made her do the
she was like
rub my legs, which we all know what
she
that
was also,
actually
like,
means.
fucking
she was like
fucking with her,
Crushing her. She was like
Yeah.
pushing down on her, like she was pushing down on the rabbit, and they were all.
Yeah.
I think it all just kind of signified that they were all just sort of trapped. Like
Everybody sucks.
everything sucks now.
She fucked everything up.
She
Not even
fucked everything
she's
up.
happy now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Wah, wah, wah.
just for some sweet different puss, she fucking ruined everything. She couldn't
The movie's cool to
stick
watch.
with old reliable.
It's beautiful. I like I've never seen wide angle lenses used like this. Never seen whip pans, the 2-inch whip pans that show the whole room.
Yeah, I appreciated it.
That's what I appreciate.
I think it had some great characters, and I think it had some great fucking performances. Like the performances were pretty fucking great, strong, really. I think if you're a female if you're an actress, you probably fought fucking hard to be in this movie because you want to play a role that
I was just looking through the trivia. They said Kate Winslet was
she was supposed to play the queen.
Oh, the queen.
That would have been good.
Yeah.
Because when I was looking at Emma Stone, every now and then she would come in. I'm like, this bitch got Kate Winslet vibes. I thought that before I saw that they had her cast.
She was supposed to play
she was going to be the queen, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Because
Kate
I like that. I think
now.
Kate Winslet would have been a great queen. Yeah,
she would have been awesome. Yeah. I think no matter what, whoever played that character was gonna win an Oscar.
Forget she's old as
character
fuck
is just
now.
written well.
Yeah, I think she's probably older than Olivia Colman. I think Olivia Colman's only like around like early 40s or something.
Really?
I think so.
Yeah,
I remember looking and being somewhat surprised. Like she kind of looks older, and I think she plays older than she actually is.
Yeah,
but she's not. She wasn't that old. Kate Winslet's probably
still
50 or so.
75.
Kate Winslet's still pretty hot though for a lady.
Oh yeah, Kate Winslet. Yeah.
Olivia Colman was born in 1974.
Oh, okay. So she's more 47.
Yeah, I think Kate Winslet's probably like 51, 52. She's like DiCaprio's age.
Leonardo?
Leo. Yeah, I think this movie was great. I think
scale of 1 to 10.
On a scale of 1 to 10, I'm giving this movie an 8.
Maybe like 7.
Give it I got a 5.8. I think I wrote down here.
Wow.
5.9. 5.9. Almost a 6.
It's low.
Almost a 6. Yeah. Well, it's low. Yeah. I'll put it low.
It was slow. The enjoyment factor it takes a hit for me. I think I more appreciated the artistic value, the script, the story. I appreciated more aspects than I actually enjoyed about it.
It was interesting.
According to my scale, I need to revamp my scale. We should talk about how
I'm picking numbers out of my ass right now. I need to figure out a scale for myself.
You don't have to. I just have one, but maybe we should reconvene. We'll talk about it. I'll get your guys' ideas on what I should be grading.
Maybe we should start maybe reset the little that spreadsheet we have a little bit and start keeping track of these. It'd be funny because I'm just pulling numbers out of my ass. We could kind of keep track. That'd be a fun way to start doing averaging and ranking movies a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, I do that. I have all mine ranked for the past 20 movies.
Word. I'll go back and take a peek.
Yeah, motherfucker should do that too.
True. At least from I'd go back to from the episode 101 or whatever. We started out the new season, if you will, after Godfather when we stopped ranking them. Or not Godfather. Star Wars, I mean. Godfather in space.
We've seen your criteria for ranking anything, and I think it's a pretty good criteria. You cover.
I do too.
Yeah, but I have the beginning and the end, and if the beginning and the end suck, then that can take down the whole movie.
Yeah, but
I would more factor that all into story or whatever, story or writing.
Yeah, but even when it comes to when it comes to writing, they always say that the beginning has to really be strong like that. Like people who read scripts for a living to try to see if they're gonna option them, if they're not
if you're not in by
6
a few pages,
they're nah.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Damn. How did Burning get through?
I think
there was enough
with
mystery.
The director was established.
Not a real question.
Dude, that was honestly my complaint about Salton Sea, where I didn't like the beginning because I was just some fucking drug movie. It got more interesting because that's when the twists and the turns started happening.
I was with you. I was brought out of that movie because I was I've seen this before, way too many times.
But it turned out pretty good.
Yeah,
I give it pretty good.
It turned out all right. I turned out all right.
So now you love the movie.
I don't love the movie, but I mean, it's not as bad as the first 20 minutes was.
It's not as bad as you made yourself sound like you thought at first.
I don't know how quick I would be to recommend it to people, but it was fine.
We're not talking about Salton Sea. We're talking about The Favorite.
True. I liked it. I don't know if I'd recommend. I would recommend it to a certain person who appreciates the art aspects of films. Maybe people that like period pieces, things of that nature.
All right,
people
let's
that
rank
like dry comedies.
Let's rank Yorgos' movies. You got The Lobster, Killing of a Sacred Deer, this, and he's made 2 more, but I don't think you guys have seen them. You guys seen Dogtooth?
I haven't.
Or Alps?
No.
Okay, so
Dogtooth I want to check out, but I
out
think
of those three,
we've all seen the
Sacred Deer,
English-speaking
Lobster,
ones, right?
and this. Where do you rank them?
Lobster, Sacred Deer, this.
I go Sacred Deer, Lobster, than this.
I could switch or the last. I could switch this and Sacred Deer.
I'm gonna go Sacred Deer 1, this 2, Lobster 3.
Lobster 3. Okay.
Lobster 3. So three's your favorite?
Lobster, I only liked the first half. I remember it losing me once they like left that whatever they were, when they were just like living in the woods. Yeah.
Sacred Deer is just the most weird fucking movie, but it's so interesting. You're like, exactly. I don't know what this is, and I don't know why I like it, but I fucking like it. Like
I'm in the whole time. It's
so David Lynch. It's the most David Lynch movie David Lynch didn't make.
Yeah,
like,
it's
crazy.
It's like a mystery that just makes no goddamn sense.
And Colin Farrell's so fucking calm the entire time, and you're just like, what is going on? Like, your kids are dying slowly by fucking this weirdo who put a curse on him. Like,
and that little psycho guy is like also
so good.
He's so weird and so good.
He's the Joker now, dude.
Yeah, he's gonna be the next Joker probably.
Mm-hmm.
He's the Joker at the end of the Batman.
Yeah,
the kid in
that
was him.
Yeah,
that was the Joker.
Damn. Yeah.
And Nicole Kidman, shout out to Nicole Kidman. She's great. She's also
great in everything, though. She's good in everything. Yeah.
Nikki Kids.
I know there was that weird scene where she just like lied naked on the bed, and they just had that was like their weird sex game that they played.
Yeah. Or when the girl's singing that song for them, and they're just like, no one's smiling. They're like,
I know, dude. Like, what the fuck was going on with those kids the whole time? Was so.
You guys ever see the Lake House
with Keanu Reeves?
Yeah, and Sandy B.
Yeah, that movie's garbage.
A long time ago, and I remember it being garbage.
Sandy B.
Yeah, dude. They can put things in the mailbox and they'll go.
Yeah, no, I've seen it. I've seen it.
You ever see the parody of Family Guy when he puts his dick in the mailbox?
No.
Well, you can see what happens. She opens it in the future.
Nice.
I don't think there's another movie about lakes or rivers or bodies of water that I want to watch.
Anaconda?
Anaconda, yeah.
Have you guys ever seen Hard Rain?
Yeah.
Really? You saw that?
Rain in the city, right?
No, it's called Hard Rain. It's about a bunch of thieves led by Morgan Freeman, Slater, where they try to rob a bank during a flood. Yeah, it's pretty.
That's what I said. It floods the city.
Oh, but I thought you said it was called that. No, it's called Hard Rain.
Yeah. But it floods the city and they fuck around on jet skis.
I remember liking that when I was a kid. I don't remember.
Waterworld's a good water movie.
Yeah. Seen Waterworld?
Yeah, it's terrible.
No, it's not.
The papers.
It's pretty bad.
It's not bad. It's really good.
I watched some of it fairly recently.
What are you talking about?
It's not.
I watch it all the time. It's great. It's a great movie. It's Mad Max on the water. You hate Mad Max?
I like the new Mad Max. The other ones are kind of overrated.
It's one of those situations like you take a good movie, then add something ridiculous to it, and they think it's going to be good. Now, I don't think anyone likes. I think it's universally like this movie.
Yeah, I think Waterworld is probably one of the most hated movies ever.
It's not. It's not. It didn't flop like people say it did. It did. It was fine.
Dennis Hopper's in it. That's probably the best part.
Dennis Hopper, Kevin Costner.
It's just outrageous is all it really is.
It's not outrageous.
It's pretty outrageous. How is this not outrageous movie?
What do you mean it's outrageous? There's smokers.
Every interaction with everybody is ridiculous. Yeah.
The little girl's annoying too. She's
mutation.
Where are they getting that tobacco, dude?
The Edouard Delacroix from the Green Mile's in it. Edouard Delacroix.
Dude, the Green Mile's so fucking good.
You know what I'm talking about? The French guy?
Yeah, they got the mouse.
We need to do a Darabont. Darabont's dope.
We've all seen the Darabont movies, though. He's only made 5 fucking movies. We've seen them all.
I've never seen Shawshank Redemption.
Yeah, right.
I haven't seen The Mist up until recently.
Who cares?
The Mist? I love The Mist. Anthony hates The Mist, but
I thought The Mist was stupid.
I thought The Mist was kind of stupid.
I thought The Mist was fucking stupid. But also Schwartz hyped it up. He was like, "Oh, you gotta fucking love this. It's crazy. It's exactly the kind of movie you watch."
I love
that. That happened.
And then by
the
end happened, I was like, "Oh, that was fucking dumb."
Justin's like, "This is the best movie ever," and I'm like,
"Sounds like Sultan's."
He's like, "Did you see the end?" I was like, "Yeah, I saw the end. That's what made the whole movie dumb."
That movie was awesome. It was so
questionable throughout. It was fun at times, but questionable, and then it just got black.
Yeah, you love Lovecraft.
I do. So Stephen King.
That's cool.
I love love.
I love lamp.
lamp. I love lamp. Do you really love the lamp, or are you just saying that? I love lamp.
I love carpet.
All right. Well,
Have you ever
who's
seen
picking-
On Golden Pond?
No. What's that?
I haven't seen it. I know what it is, but
It's
All right.
a
So,
movie.
are you picking Jake, or is Anthony going to pick some piece of garbage?
I thought it was
it's my
Anthony's
turn.
pick. Yeah,
so
you're gonna
both
go,
of you
right?
just chill the fuck out for a second.
Does Anthony really get turns? Does he only like pick them every?
He
now
does
and then?
now. He does now.
All right.
Whose podcast do you think this is? Yours?
I mean, it's equally the three of ours.
So
We're
then why are
making
you
each
why are
other
you
watch
talking about
movies.
why are you talking about it like I don't have a choice?
When have you been a regular picker? You haven't.
Since we did
last-
Star Wars,
No,
like the
that's-
past 10
okay.
movies we've done, I've picked,
New season.
I've been a choice every time.
Okay, I didn't know that was the case. Calm down.
You don't pay attention.
I
For
didn't
the
know
last for the
that.
last
We never
several
talked about
rounds.
that.
For the last several rounds.
several
yeah.
rounds, I've had a choice because
I've
I
heard
have a
Anthony
choice
say
because I'm
the
a
words,
person.
I'm gonna
I
pick
mean,
movies
debatable.
now too, and
Yeah.
you did.
We had
All
this
right, what's-
conversation.
What's your pick, Anthony?
Jesus Christ!
Let him
Jesus
pick.
Christ. What's
Let
your
the man
pick?
pick. Anthony. Is it my
On
turn?
Golden Pond.
Really? Oh my god. All right.
No, I'm just kidding. You know what I want to
Don't.
watch? None of the ones I have on my list. What was this movie called though?
Just pick something
Have you
good,
seen
man.
it? Have you seen it?
Just don't pull a Schwartz and pick some garbage and then have to switch
Both
it.
of you shut
because
up.
it's
Doesn't matter
garbage.
what we watch. We watch
Pick
it and we
something
talk about
good.
it. Movie's
I
called
like that.
Escape from
I like that.
Tomorrow.
Escape from Tomorrow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Escape from Tomorrow.
What's it about?
Just watch it.
Have you seen it?
I think so.
Wait, is
Oh.
that the fucking Disneyland movie?
Yeah.
Oh, that movie was terrible. Have you really seen it?
Oh,
Have you really seen it?
I've seen this too.
Because it's not good.
I have seen it.
And you're picking it?
Yeah.
This
Oh
is-
god.
I don't know if there's that much to talk
There's
about.
not really much to
we've
talk
all
about.
and we've all seen it.
Yeah,
Doesn't
It's
matter.
Not, yes, it does. Those are the Have you been on this podcast? That's the prerequisite. One of us has.
Now
not
we
seen it.
all agreed that it doesn't matter anymore.
Yes, it does.
We all agreed. Remember when we were like, "Oh, just say I've never seen it."
I think it was.
Seen it.
I think it was.
I've never
suggested,
seen it, so-
but-
I've never seen it, so we should watch it.
It's pretty bad.
You could tell me how bad it is.
Are you sure you want to pick this movie?
Escape from Tomorrow.
All right, so I'm gonna start picking movies we've all seen then, and repeating directors. Then we're gonna go do this.
I wouldn't say we're repeating directors yet.
I mean, we're doing free for all now. We've all seen it. We're watching it.
Nobody said it was a free for all. I'm talking about things we've already discussed before, which is
We
it
have
doesn't
not
really
agreed.
matter.
That's the
We've
point of
seen
the
it.
podcast, making me watch movies I haven't seen. One of us.
I know, but
making me
you
watch it.
also were a part of the conversation where we're like, well, maybe it doesn't really matter. If
Yeah,
we
but
haven't
that
seen
was
it, we don't
just-
really
that was-
remember it. I
that
don't
was
really,
just-
I don't remember this movie, so we're
That
gonna
was
watch
just
it.
That was just to
Well,
spite
that's
Jake.
that's
not
the
a- that
problem.
doesn't
That's
make
the
it
problem
free-for-all.
with picking bad movies. You got to remember the movie. You
Yeah,
picked.
exactly.
You don't gotta remember shit. We're watching Escape from Tomorrow.
All right.
Idiots.
I kind of think we're gonna
Shout
start
out to the
watching
big
this,
cat.
and it's gonna get changed pretty quickly.
Maybe
Pretty bad.
tune in next week to see what we're watching. Maybe. Shout out to the gout-ridden big cat.
Yeah.